Hey everybody, I just decided I'm just going to go read all of chapter 2, and then I'm just going to go through Howard Zinn's chapters 1, 3, 4, 5, and so on until we're done, because there's not that much in chapter 2, and I honestly want to get my thoughts out on this book, so here we go.
About 25 blacks and 2 Indians set fire to a building, and then killed 9 whites who came on the scene. They were captured by soldiers, put on trial, and 21 were executed. The governor's report to England said, "Some were burnt, others were hanged, one broke on the wheel, and one hung alive in chains in the town. One had to be burned over a slow fire for 8 to 10 hours. All this to serve notice to the other slaves." A letter to London from South Carolina in 1720 reports, "I am now to acquaint you that very lately we have had a very wicked and barbarous plot of the design of the Negroes rising with a design to destroy all the white people in the country, and then take Charlestown in full body. But it pleased God it was discovered, and many of them taken prisoners, and some burnt, and some hanged, and some banished." Around this time, there were a number of fires in Boston and New Haven, suspected to be the work of Negro slaves. As a result, one Negro was executed in Boston, and the Boston Council ruled that any slaves who on their own gathered in groups of 2 or more were to be punished by whipping. At Stono, South Carolina, in 1739, about 20 slaves rebelled, killed 2 warehouse guards, stole guns and gunpowder, and headed south, killing people in their way and burning buildings. They were joined by others, until there were perhaps 80 slaves in all, and according to one account of the time, they called out liberty, marched on with colors displayed, and 2 drums beating. The militia found and attacked them. In the ensuing battle, perhaps 50 slaves and 25 whites were killed before the uprising was crushed. Herbert Apotheker, who did detailed research on slave resistance in North America for his book, American Negro Slave Revolts, found about 250 instances where a minimum of 10 slaves joined in a revolt or conspiracy. From time to time, whites were involved in the slave resistance. As early as 1663, indentured white servants and black slaves in Gloucester County, Virginia, formed a conspiracy to rebel and gain their freedom. The plot was betrayed and ended with executions. Mullen reports that the newspaper notices of runaways in Virginia often warned ill-disposed whites about harboring fugitives. Sometimes slaves and free men ran off together or cooperated in crimes together. Sometimes black male slaves ran off and joined white women.